Ajay Kumar and Zhen Yu, stand down at the beginning.
1,392 members under the National Internet Plus strategy and the rapid growth of the cloud computing, and we see an obvious increase of our members. About the IP and S allocation, by the end of June 2017, CNIC has allocated more than 329,000/24 IPv4 address to its members. We have been making a lot of efforts to encourage our members to apply and use IPv6. Now, CNIC has allocated more than 8,600/32 IPv6 blocks. About 40% of our members hold IPv6 address. About AS allocation, CNIC has allocated more than 800 AS numbers. We currently allocated 4 byte AS numbers to our members. CNIC IP Islands Conference is held annually to deliver up-to-date IP allocation status and trends, as well as the development of IP-related new technologies to CNIC members and the wider China community. This year, the conference was held on June 13th in Kunming. More than 200 attendees, which came from telecom operators, IDCs, ICP, and ISPs, came together. This year's presentation included resource delegation policies, status and IPv6 deployment, and network security. Guangliang Pan presented an overview of current IPv4, IPv6, and SN delegation policies and practice in each area region. And George Maxson gave an update on global IPv6 deployment. CNIC launched its RPKI service during the opening ceremony. And after the conference, Jessica Wei and Ming Lei conducted a wonderful IPv6 workshop in Chinese. Over 60 internet engineers and administrators attended in the training. This workshop achieved notable results. And we are planning another IPv6 workshop in November. And now my colleague Zhiwei Yan will share the RPKI status in CNIC. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Zhiwei Yan from CNIC, and let me give you a brief introduction of the work of the RPKI of CNIC since the last meeting. And I will introduce from 3 parts. The first is the RPKI service. And in the IP Alliance meeting of this year, we released the RPKI service. And although we still has no active child members access to this platform, but it works well now. So I here want to express our special thanks to many guys help us to solve some problems during this work. Randy Bush, George, Tej, Rob, and Tom, they give us many patient and continuous help. Thank you very much. And but currently, I still think maybe there are some potential problems because we run the RPKI with APNIC using different softwares. So I'm not sure. Maybe there are some potential problems during this capabilities of the system. And another one is I think the community, especially in this AP community, should hold more events and workshops to training and outreach about what is RPKI and how to run the RPKI service. Because many our child members do not know what is RPKI currently. And the second one is the localization work of this RPKI. We started to introduce some basic RPKI standardizations in the IETF to the China community, and we have finished some work, and some are still going on. And besides, we published some white papers about the RPKI and the BGP-SEC to let the people know what is the RPKI and BGP-SEC and how to test the softwares. And the last one is the research work. I take an example is the ROA is ROA signing when we contain multiple prefixes in the ROA signing. We take some data from the in July of this year, and we find that half of the ROAs have multiple prefixes in one ROA, and the biggest one has more than 300 prefixes. What is the problem? We tested in our test bed. If we change the prefix in one ROA, and some mistake may happen, but then the whole ROA will be revoked. So we think that when one ROA has multiple prefixes, it's dangerous. This is an example, but I think we should cooperate more and share more experience and knowledge to research on the safeguard system of the RPKI to avoid some potential risks because it's a security solution. So that's all, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. And is there any question? Okay, now I'd like to invite Shanyun from KNIC to give the update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sang-Yeon Gang from KISA. Today, I'm going to present about KLEAG update briefly. Now, first, I'd like to show KLEAG statistics. KLEAG has three types of members: ISPs, independent IP user, and AS number user. As of August 31st, KLEAG has 19 ISPs and 166 independent IP user and 684 AS number user. And a figure in IP members and AS numbers users are duplicated. The members only allocated AS numbers are 443. Next, IPv4 and IPv6 allocation statistics. As of August 31st, we are holding about 112 million of IPv4 addresses. We are allocated about 4,300 of IPv4 address from APNIC this year. In case of IPv6 address, we are holding about 5,200 of /32 IPv6 addresses. As you can see, the number of IPv6 v4 and v6 addresses has not been almost changed after 2011 and 2006, respectively. Finally, we are holding approximately 1,000 AS numbers. Referring to type, we hold 895 of 2-byte ASN and 110 of 4-byte ASN. At this point, we assigned 804 2-byte ASN to members. Next topic is KLINK, activity of KLINK. To improve the accuracy of IPv6 database, we update the entire IP address reallocation information of ISPs every year since 2015. And to update WhoisDB efficiently, we cooperate with major ISPs in Korea to develop the EPP communication program this year. Next, KISA is working on regular check the actual usage of IP address and AS numbers. The purpose of this work is to check how members use number resource, and we promote use of limited resource efficiently to members. Next, deploying DNSSEC. Regarding root key signing key rollover event, we held a meeting with ISPs and asked to be concerned this issue. And we began to sign all reverse zones. Then we signed 300 zones as the first step. Remaining zones will be signed next year. And next, we try to detect the various cyber threats using DNS traffic analysis. We already presented this project at last APNIC meetings. We called it Data-Driven DNS Project. This picture shows how to work to project in the internet system. KISA analyzed .kl DNS traffic between .kl DNS and recursive DNS, and ISPs analyze its own recursive DNS traffics between recursive DNS and internet user, and between recursive DNS and other authoritative DNS. Then share the results, for example, CNC, phishing, malware, and so on. At first, we tried to collect all DNS traffics, but it has some privacy and legal issues, so we changed the approach to this way. Now we cooperate with one medium-sized ISP in Korea. Finally, Asia Pacific Internet Governance Academy was held in Seoul, co-hosted by KISA and ICANN from August 7th to 11th. 100 of attendees and speakers from 19 countries participated in 5-day training course on internet governance and related topics. And this is all my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Sharon. Is there any question? Sharon, please
One
wait.
quick question, please. Hi, for the record, Elise Garrick from PTI. You mentioned that you'd done a outreach to your ISPs about the root zone KSK rollover. What kind of response did you get from the ISPs, and do you think they're prepared?
Actually, almost all of ISP in Korea not yet activated DNSSEC validation, so we just for the information, we notified the. Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you.
I'm Rajesh Jain. I have a question about sharing the data of DNS. Is there a competition issue also there that ISP1 shares data with some agency, let us say KISA, ISP2 shares with KISA?
I mean,
and how does KISA make sure that this data?
KISA acts as some coordination body. All ISPs participated in these projects will they own or they analyze their own DNS traffics and share the results to us, and we share each other.
So I just wanted that, is there any competition issue which comes up? That one ISP data is coming to, for example, if you are the coordinating agency, second ISP data is also coming to you. So are they worried, the concern that their competition
Yes, we collect all analysis results and we share this result to all ISPs.
Every ISP result is known to any other ISPs as well. ISP 1 has got DNS data. ISP 2 has DNS data. So ISP 1 has the knowledge of data of ISP 2.
Yes, let me add some answers for my colleagues. My name is Billy. I'm with the KISA. Yes, I know. First, we try to analyze some malicious activities in DNS traffics from ISPs, certain ISPs. We did that as experimental research, and then realized that there is privacy issues related. So we don't share actually the privacy, the data for the from specific ISPs with others. But we are doing the research, and we keep the data in KISA, inside KISA, not sharing with the other member ISPs. And still ongoing project, and we will share the update later on. That's we are at that stage.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tomohiro Fujisaki from NTT Japan, and thank you for your presentation. And I just want to ask their IPv6 statistics. So if you have the data, could you teach us how many IP organizations got the IPv6 address? For example, in Japan case, 40% of the IPv4 holders have IPv6 address. How about the in Korea?
100% of ISP in Korea allocated IPv6 address.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to invite Owen from VNIC to make presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Ni hao. Let me introduce myself. I'm Oanh Nguyễn from VNIC, Vietnam. Yeah, today I'm very happy to tell you about VNIC update. My presentation has a four parts. I will tell you about our activity recently and some information about Internet resources management in Vietnam and our Vietnam IPv6 measurement and upcoming IPv activity. And as you know, VNIC is an entity belongs to MIC, Vietnam government. So we take care for .vn, ccTLD, NAR in APNIC. And otherwise, we have take care for National Internet Exchange Operator, and also we are a standing committee of Vietnam IPv6 Task Force. As you know, basically our function, we a lot of activity for management.vn and promote IP in Vietnam, and also we promote IPv6 activity and a lot of research and development for IDNs, DNSS. We have also the relationship with a lot of organizations, not only in Vietnam, but also in over the world. We joined APNIC and also member of APTLD and CCNSO. We also joined GAST in ICANN. We hold also a lot of activity in ITU and APRICOT APIA. And also we have many cooperation agreements with other countries, for example, with Kista, JPNIC, LANIC, and Cambodia. And I would like to update some activity recently. We held APRICOT 2017, and we hope that if you enjoyed APRICOT in Vietnam, I hope you had a good time. And also, we just the same time we held APRICOT 2017. We held APT LD meeting and other activities. Recently, in the last month, we held IP member meeting. Yeah. Also, we have Vienna ICNOC 2014, and we are very thank you. And I think Tom Hansen, he joined with us, and we have had a presentation in both of the meeting. And also we have a cooperation with Kista, and Mystery from Vienna go to Kista, and it's a very interesting event. It's the Pacific Internet Governance Academy 2017. And as you know, IPv6 is not news today, and therefore we have a lot of activity to promote IPv6 in Vietnam. So we have the event in event for IPv6. Every year we have the we set up the event for Vietnam IPv6 Day, and we also a lot of activity for improved awareness of IPv6 for not only ISP. We also we promote in government agency. We have a lot of training course for government agency recently for ministry and for other department of international information and telecommunication in the province. And also, as our function, we have some activity with Department of Information and Communication of some city and province to give a guidance to how to deploy and how to implement the rules on Internet resources management. And next, the topic is how we manage IP and Internet resources in Vietnam. As you know, we take care for the VN and IP address, and also we we not only basically the policy of APNIC, we also we give them the other policy basically in Vietnam law. You can see the chart that shows you the development of IP.vn. Yeah. Up to now, we have about 400,000 .vn domain name. About IDN, I would like to share you IDN. Before 2017, we free for IDN under .vn. After that, since this year, we start to move the same model as the ASCII.vn. And it's the same as a country and as the organization. Basically, IPv4 is house policy, so the number of IPv4 of Vietnam is not go fast. So up to now, we have the more than 15 million IPv6, and we ranked in the second in Asian region, and the eighth of our region. Yeah, and we have the IPv6 is important for our studies. So our members apply more IPv6. So up to now we had more than we have more than 80 members having IPv6. And up to now we are NAR. We had more than we had the 340 members from a lot of type of organization, basically from the ISP, IDC, and operator, mobile operator. How about the Vietnam IPv6 measurement? Yeah, you can see the top 15 countries and have a good IPv6 deployment. And Vietnam, we ranked in the 6th. And up to now, the IPv6 deployment in Vietnam go around 10%, and we had more than 4 million internet users with IPv6. Why we had a good result? I think it's the good result for us because we had two organizations, two groups, deploying IPv6 to their customer. It's the FPT Telecom and VNPT group. And we will to what we will do in the future, and I will tell you 5 main activity Vietnam VNIC will focus. We would like to say in next week we have the training IPv6 for Laos Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, and also we're going to have DNSSEC training course, and also we issue report on Vietnam Internet resources, and also we continue cooperate with many organizations not only in Vietnam but also the world, and other activity we focus in the future we also promote IPv6 FVC. Yes, this is all of our presentation, and thank you. Do you have any question and comment? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Owen. Now I'd like to invite Yan Jie from DNSSEC to make the presentation.
Hello everyone. My name is Yan Jie Wang. I'm from TWNIC. Today I will brief update the TWNIC's current status to you. Okay, the outline is below. First one, I will state the statistics of TWNIC's IP members, and the next one is TWNIC's activities and training programs this year. And the last one, I will show you the conclusion and the future work. Okay, first one, TWNIC has have the 63 members now. Most of them are the service provider, and they provide many types of service, such as IDC, ADSL cable modem, 4G, and so on. Okay, the next is the IPv4 address allocation. TWNIC has allocated 131,682/24 IPv4 address. In this diagram, you may figure out the IPv4 application grows slowly these few years. In this year, we have 41 the new IPv4 application. Okay, for the IPv6 address allocation, we have allocated 2,347/32 IPv6 address. And most of TWNIC IP members have obtained IPv6 address. And this year, we have 3 new members apply the IPv6. Okay, and in this year, we hold the 2017 TWNAC and the 28th TWNIC IP Open Policy Meeting. The time is June 21st and 22 this year. And the keynote speaker is Hongchan Ma. He's from the Zhonghua Telecom. And he shared the IPv6 trend and the current status, the roadmap during the keynote speech. The session topic include development of and the application trend of IPv6 network service and the security best practice for the network operators and the IoT application trend and the security training and so on. You may find more detailed agenda on the LIS website. And the TWNIC IPv6 training program in 2017, from August to September, we have already held 10 times IPv6 training. And there are 352 attendees. And Taiwan IPv6 deployment in governmental public Wi-Fi service, we call iTaiwan. This is a hotspot, Wi-Fi hotspot, some hotspot of the Taiwan governmental public Wi-Fi service. iTaiwan has supported IPv6 and will extend this year, this IPv6 service this year. The 3rd stage for the upgrade of iTaiwan service to support IPv6 as below. The stage 1 is the service trial. It is implemented in the building of Ministry of Transportation and Communications. That was upgraded 20 hotspots in 2050. And the stage 2 is small-scale service. It is implemented in total 321 hotspots on the sightseeing spots and the transportation stations in 2016. And the stage 3 is the large-scale service. It's planned to be implemented in 5,965 hotspots in Taiwan. The coverage rate is around to be nearly 73 of hotspots to support IPv6 in this year. So the conclusion and the future works, we have 2 new members this year, and the iTaiwan is the free and convenient public Wi-Fi service. The number of supporting IPv6 of iTaiwan hotspot is around 4,284 in August. The average users in August is around 124,000 per day. So we believe it's a good way to provide IPv6 access service to the end user. And this year, we will continuously hold the IPv6 training course and the IPv6 activities, the seminar this year. and welcome to attend the IPv6 readiness measurement buff tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for your listening. Any question?
Okay, thank you, Yanjie. And now I'd like to invite Hierarchy from JPNIC to make the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hiroki Kawabata from JPNIC. I'm going to talk to you about JPNIC updates. I'm glad to have this opportunity to share with you about our activities and statistics. This is a brief outline of our presentation. First, I'll talk about our activities. Next is statistics. First part is our activities. Today, I'll talk about 6 topics. One topic is outreach activities on DNSSEC KSK rollover. As you know, ICANN is planning to change the top keys in the DNSSEC protocol in October this year, and they called the root zone KSK rollover. Following the announcements from ICANN and APNIC, JPNIC is also outreaching widely to Japanese community. We have translated documents created by ICANN into Japanese and publish it on our web page. And JPNIC new web page and provides helpful information for ISP operators and end users. We hold a technical conference like APNIC44 once a year. Normally, it will be held in Tokyo, but this year we had wrap-up sessions outside of Tokyo. We also pick up this topic. Next topic is RPKI. To get interested in RPKI, we hold RPKI training course. In this training course, participants learn about RPKI concept and registration procedure using hands-on web. The pilot service was launched 2 years ago. Now we issue 51 resource certificates and 151 ROAs. The covering ratio for IPv4 prefix is 3.9%. This rate is increasing slowly. Next topic is the engagement with JANOG. In Japan, there is operators community such as JANOG. We call it JANOG. JANOG is Japan Network Operators Group. It was established in 1999, and there are 7,300 mailing list members. Some of our staff serve in a JANOG committee member and as a volunteer of JANOG internationalization group. JANOG meetings are held 2 or 3 times of each year in various cities in Japan. We use it as an opportunity for JPNIC members and LIRs to meet with JPNIC staff in a casual setting. In some meetings, our staff serve as the JANOG meeting staff, and we open our on-site help desk at our booth. Next topic is IPv6. About promoting IPv6, we collaborate with the IPv4 exhaustion task force in Japan. JPNIC provides more knowledge for ISP technical operators. Last year, we held IPv6 technical hands-on seminar collaborating with regional ISPs. This seminar was held 14 times in 8 cities and JPNIC office. There are about 100 attendees. In this seminar, they studied the IPv6 settings of network equipment, like as the router and server using our testbed. Next topic is JPNIC Open Policy Meeting. It was held in June this year, and this meeting was moderated by a policy working group. This working group is an independent organization from JPNIC. This time there are 2 policy proposals and some informational sessions. This slide shows the meeting agenda. About 2 policy proposals. Both of these are aimed to correct document description, and these are not to change criteria. We already give update on the statistics of number resource and the latest APNIC conference. In this time, addition to this, we invited the person in charge of police and with contact of ISP, and discussed about improving with accuracy. The meeting for sharing the policy proposal at APNIC policy signaling list was held last week. The policy working group have already posted the summary of comment from participants to policy signaling list. The last topic is about Internet governance. There is a conference we call Internet Governance Conference Japan, for short IGCJ. IGCJ's objective is to construct a fan base in Japan for well-informed consideration of Internet governance issues, and to make recommendations on Internet governance issues for in-country stakeholders and global arena. The conference is held bi-monthly. There are 20 meetings held since its launch 3 years ago. Topics were covered: Internet Governance Forum updates, net neutrality, and fake news, and so on. There is also a group to think about IGCJ. There are volunteers in the community to think how we can run the forum. It's a global IGF hosted by the United Nations. There is a mechanism to register regional and national IGF. Japan IGF was registered as national IGF in Japan in November last year. In Japan, there is another organization for discussion about Internet governance. They call Internet Governance Forum Japan. IGCJ collaborate this organization. They hope that various stakeholders gather at IGCJ and IGF Japan to discuss the Internet governance. I'd like to move on to the next part. We introduce statistics. This time, some slides skip. We introduce IPv6 statistics and transfer statistics. And this slide shows the statistics of IPv6 distribution. Bar graph is a number of IPv6 address under JPNIC management. Now we have about we have allocated about 7,100/32 IPv6 blocks. In addition to allocation, there are 145/48 portable assignments. A line graph is a number of IP member with IPv6 allocations. Now about 60% of IP member have been delegated to IPv6. Last slide is statistics of market transfer. We have completed 274 IPv4 transfers and 5 AS number transfers. Now we can transfer IPv4 address from or to APNIC, link, and RPNCC member. In this period, there are 5 transfer cases from or to APNIC member, 10 transfer cases from AD member, and 2 transfer cases from a RPNCC member. The first transfer from IPNCC member is completed in this July. Now we permit AS number transfer from or to APNIC, but there is no complete case from or to APNIC member. That's all from us. Thank you.
Declan Ma from ZDS in China. My question is about the RPK deployment in Japan. I'm kind of interested in this topic. As far as you know, how many ISP in Japan is going to use RPK to secure their routing system? And my second question is about my second question is about the role. How many rows are right in use for the BGP exchange decision?
Okay, thank you. My colleague Taiji, question.
Hi, I am Taiji from JPNIC. Our member have some categories along with allocated resources, but the count in the material is based on the resource management object. The number is 51 is the resource management object, and they have their own resources like IPv4 and IPv6. And the number of ROA was shown in the material 151, but we didn't calculate the cover rate for the whole resources allocated from JPNIC. But we can count, so I can answer later for you.
I have extra question. As far as I observe, JPNIC has established a RPK testbed. So in your testbed, which kind of RPK relying party software are you used to establish this testbed?
For the relying party software, we are operating for the testbed 2 softwares. One is RPKI tool, and another is RIPE's RPKI validator.
So when you say RPKI tool, you are talking about RPKI.net, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So thank you.
Hi, Elise Garrick. I'd like to ask the same question that I asked the gentleman from Korea. In your outreach for the root zone KSK key rollover, what kind of response did you get from your members, and how prepared do you think they are for it?
Thank you for your comments. After announce, we receive many questions from my end user. But I think we think personally many ISPs in Japan have prepared for KSK rollover. Many of the questions sorry. Izumi-san, follow comments, please.
Thank you, Elise, for this question. To answer in short, I think awareness level within Japan is really high, not just to ISPs, but also for general network operators who actually do the system admin. And the reason for is that we not only gave updated technical sessions such as Internet Week or JANOG, but we also outreach to media and our government, the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Information. They also published a document that actually made sure that it's not just the people who do the DNSSEC deployment, but others who may be affected by it actually make sure that they actually update their system. So I think we're pretty well prepared.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Billy, my name is Billy. I'm with the ICANN Seoul office, and actually I just wanted to add more for my colleagues to questions from Alice. And we conducted like a sort of a campaign for our member registrars and ISPs, because when we talk about the DNSSEC, but we realize that the awareness level is not that high, and some people don't see the needs. And so, but KISA, KISA did employ the DNSSEC at the .kr zone, but the registrars and ISPs don't really employ the. So we need to minimize the gap between the, KISA and the registrars. So that's what we did. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kayaki. Because we just have 20 minutes and we still have 2 presentations, so I ask every presentation should be controlled in 10 minutes. Now I'd like to invite Benjamin from IPNIC to make the presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Benjamin from IPNIC. I give 3 kind of information about update status of IPNIC. Second one is about our IPv6 testing in one of our cellular operator. And last one about my IPNIC portal. Okay. This is the update that for direct members and ISP. We can see from every year the member of our IPNIC APG is growth. The last one is about 1,157, and the member composition. Most of our customer are from corporate and association. Second one is ISP and NAP. The last one is government and education. The allocation IPv4 per August 2017 is about 21,223 block per /24. And location is for ISP and IP is bigger for the operator rather than the direct member. And currently, the IPNIC allocation in IPNIC is extra large or total subnet /9. And allocation for ISP, this is the allocation for ISP NAP members is for the operator. The allocation is, we can see for the last 3 years, the incremental is not really high because the capacity allocated for IPv4 is limited in IPNIC. And for allocation for direct member, if there are some requests from customer for direct member like corporate, government, or education, we give the priority for them. So that's why the growth is still good. And this is the total allocation combined from an assigned portable, we can see. Is the last one is 21,223. And this is for allocation IPv6 per August 2017. The last one what we have is about 14,500,000 and something block per /64. The total ISP member is 251 members, and direct member is 307 members. This is IP distribution for per August 2017. The last year for 2017 is 4,483,000. For assignment 2 byte IS number, we can see for the last 2 years not really changed because 2 byte IS number is limited, and 4 byte IS number is still good. The last one is with the total IS number for 2 bytes assignment to IDNIC members is 478 pulse IS number for 4 bytes. For 102 ISN for NAP and ISP, and 304 ISN assigned for direct member IDNIC. This is IX exchange and for IPv4 and IPv6 peering summary. And we can see the traffic for IPv4 and IPv6 for the last status is about 179.5 giga for open ISP. There are two internet exchange in Indonesia. One is open ISP, the last one is IX. So APG, IDNIC control the IX. Okay, sorry. And this is the total internet exchange point capacity. This is the distribution of our internet, Indonesia Internet Exchange. The router is spread of many cities around Indonesia. The current dedicated IX is in Medan, Palembang, Jakarta, Surabaya, Bandung, and one is Denpasar. This is the location of the internet in Indonesia Internet Exchange. And this is total traffic for IX that, as we told you before, the total traffic is 50.6 giga. The previous one is about 300 something. This is APG IDNIC routing activity like any other NIR doing. Manage the distribution of block IP number from APNIC, verification the requirement to get the IP number, establish a technical guideline, organizing programs for education and socialization, not only for our member, but also for any other users. Reported the implementation of IPv6 and 4 of APG IDNIC to APNIC periodically or any time that they are need, and coordinate with finance department for member billing. We also doing some training. Every year we have like 7 training in a year. The last training we already do is in Denpasar, in Riau, in Jakarta. Okay. There are IDNOC training and training for trainer. Next meeting will be in Medan, Bandung, and Semarang. Okay, this is the nice testing that we already do. We do IPv6 test result from one of mobile operator broadband in Indonesia. We do IPv6 trial test in mobile broadband for IPv4 and IPv6 doing dual stack. And also for the operator, we do it to anticipate the user equipment which haven't support IPv6 yet. And for user equipment that already support IPv6, encouraged to use IPv6. From user position, user free to choose IPv4 and IPv6. And IPv6 can use both IPv6 and IPv4 application. IPv4 can use IPv4 only. And the access for IP, this is some test that we do. Access IPv6 to IPv4. The model transition, there is some application that do not run support for IPv6 yet in Indonesia. User equipment must already support IPv6 and 4 to 6 to 4 translation. And network only allocates IPv6 number to user equipment. And we can see that IPv6 user can also use IPv6 some of IPv4 application, not in the use of user equipment only for application that do not yet support IPv6. We do by doing private IP4 to IPv6. We also have not in firewall IPv6 to public IPv4. And for 4264 translation, RFC 6877, translation consists of two parts, and user equipment and also the firewall. For user equipment, IP44 only application, the IP44 only application use the local IP44 subnet. The package of application are translated into IPv6 by user interface. This is the position from user equipment. And for the firewall, the IPv6 package of the application are retranslated to IPv4. The firewall allocates IPv4 number of user equipment from the pool. And we can see the IPv6 and successful packet data protocol. We can see here that some of message IPv6 PDP type, IPv6 is not supported by the network. The conclusion is if more and more user equipment by default requesting IPv6, the percentage of PDP activation success will decrease. This is why that the operator urged to manage immediately support IPv6 for the network. And trial on mobile broadband as much as possible to match the implementation plan. The difference from the implementation plan, we can see that there are some components that have not supported IPv6. As a result, IPv6 traffic cannot be in charge and cannot use commercial APN in this operator, mobile operator, must use special APN from MSI as SDN, and user equipment does not yet support 4-6-4 translation. And the test result succeeded, attended by ICT Ministry staff and IPv6 task force. The popular website in Indonesia like Google, Wikipedia, Facebook, detik.com can run well. We do some IPv6 text website, Google, testmyipv6.com, IPv6test.com, and IPv6 test-ipv6.com. We using PC with model BlackBerry 9300 and smartphone Lenovo. We can see some notes here that sometimes IPv6.com reports the issue that path maximum of transfer unit recovery. And we can see carrier grade CGNet, which is in firewall down. We can see that down capacity by 20% of the capacity if we do dual stack. So that's why some operator in Indonesia, if they do they have firewall in their network using CGNet, the capacity will down about 20% using dual stack. So, and user equipment has not support, some user equipment does not support 4-6-4 translation. And for the application that not support IPv6 are not running normally in Indonesia is Yahoo Messenger and Skype. They cannot use this, they not pass this test. And the dual stack test we do spontaneously, not planned from the beginning but executed during the test. One of the user using two PDP session, IPv6 and IPv4, it work better. And the suggestion that we have from this test is user equipment manufactured should produce a device which requesting IPv6 by default, because some of equipment doesn't have this default. Radio operator should immediately implement IPv6. Firewall manufacturer need to implement to improve the ability to eliminate the capacity reduction due to IPv6 not implementation to IPv4, because some application only running in IPv4. So we hope that also APNIC needs to encourage global content provides to create application which support IPv4 and IPv6 in Asia Pacific regionals, especially like Yahoo Messenger and Skype that we have told you before. And also we already built my IPNIC. My IPNIC is already, we make it as much as same with my APNIC. This is the performance of my IPNIC portal. My IPNIC portal has a server database who do synchronization with database with APNIC. And my IPNIC portal has some features in online services like manage IPv4, IPv6, ASN resource, search with object, reserve DNS delegation, IPv4 and 6 assignment, real-time with object, check billing status, and event. This is same like my APNIC has. This is the dashboard of IPv6 registration. This is the dashboard. We can see this is the example of one of the users. If they come to this dashboard, it can show how many blocks do they have for IPv4 and IPv6 and total ASN they have. This is for the performance of resource management for my IPNIC. And this is the maintainer registration. This is who is object. So we have also who is object. So they can create, each of our member can create with object. So the question is why we have to have my IPNIC? Because APG member can manage resource allocated by APG, by IPNIC, through my IPNIC, control panel, and dashboard, including manage IP4 allocation up to /30. So not only /24, but also until /30. Server allocation, acceleration can be faster because it's allocated around Indonesia Internet Exchange Network, both for my IPNIC and WUI servers. And also can be implemented conjunction with Indonesia Internet Exchange for routing policy specification language RPSL. And last one is my IPNIC can track advertised position of IP address members, not only geolocation, but also until where the IP address advertised from the location of our member. The development, we need support from APNIC. For an RTM, we can, as we told in previous meeting, my IPNIC uses version 3, while my APNIC and RTM using version 2. This difference, we can see that APNIC has not yet scheduled to upgrade version 3, so IPNIC has to temporarily downgrade to version 2 in order to do some synchronization. We also need support from APNIC to implement Certificate of Authority CA and RPKI. I need to clarify CA level root of my IPNIC. Is it in the same with my APNIC or below the APNIC? We hope also that APNIC can support from the network infrastructure equipment in assisting with training lab equipment for IPNIC members. This is all our presentation. If you have some questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. Now I'd like to invite Rajesh from Iran to make the last presentation.
Question. No?
Thanks, Billy. I'm going to save you some time. Just for information that NICSI is an independent organization set up by ISP Association of India in association with the government departments. It is an independent Section 25 company. I'm briefly be covering IRIN affiliation status we call members who are allocated resources as affiliates. That is why the word affiliation is there, to distinguish on the National Internet Exchange, ISP who connect, they are called NICSI members. So for IP addresses, they are called affiliates. And IRIN resource delegation status, IPv4 growth, IPv6 growth, and IRIN ASN allocation status. A total affiliates as on 7 September is 2293. The transfer from APNIC is 192. There is a strange one case of IRIN to APNIC, and new affiliates are 2,100. And these affiliates are from corporates, educational institutions, banks, smaller regional ISPs, and now upcoming widespread data centers. And let me recognize that Internet Service Provider Association of India, ISPAI, has contributed in large manner to attract these members to take IP addresses. And our president, Mr. Charya, is here, who has also made special efforts to be able to do that. Allocation of IPv4 till date is about 10.75 million, and the prefixes is, as it is shown, /9 and some of 11, 14, 24. Allocation of IPv6 till date is some very large number of /56, and prefixes are as shown. Allocation of ASN till date is 1359. 2-byte ASN is 198. 4-byte ASN is 1161. Just to mention here that IRIN is no longer allocating 2-byte ASN, only when it is critical, emergency, and some situation is there, maybe some government departments, otherwise not being allocated. This shows the, starting from the December 12 to September 17, and this number shows, and you will notice that from 20 to 93, there is a difference of 6. And I'm happy to say that there are 6 affiliates who have taken IPv6 only addresses. IPv6 affiliation is, out of those numbers, 349, they have taken IPv6 affiliation addresses. In the IRIN ASN, as I mentioned, that if you notice in September 17, only 4 allocation have been for 2-byte, and rest have been for 4-byte ASN delegations. Thank you. And I would just like to add that in this presentation, Nitin Sharma, if you can just stand, he is the one who has contributed to this. Thank you, Nitin. And just to mention that the issues of IPv6 and DNS, they are typically handled by separate departments in India. And that is why this is not covered as part of this presentation. Thank you.
Is there any question? Okay, thanks again to all the presenters and attendees. And now the SEC is closed.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'd like to invite all the presenters to come to stage for photo. Thank you.